What about
There you
now?
go. There you go.
Yeah, what's that, bro?
Perfect.
You good?
Good, man. How you been, man?
Yeah, good. Just, man, it's like fight camp. I'm either training, cooking, or sleeping. So you've caught me in between the getting back from training and cooking my food. So we make the most of it.
Definitely, man. Well, let's get right into it, man. Right now you are in San Diego, California. Previously, I've known that you've done your camps in Phuket at Phuket Top
Yes.
Team.
Yeah.
Why are you in San Diego for this camp?
Um, because I'm not necessarily loyal to a gym as much as I appreciate the gyms that I train at and the training partners. I'm not loyal to a gym as such. I'm more loyal to my coaches. And obviously Eric Uresk is my head MMA coach. Eric, for whatever reason, found himself going back to San Diego for a while. So I'm coming to do my camp here. I've been to Alliance before. Dean Amazinger, my other MMA coach, is an Alliance coach too. He's actually now over in Shanghai, UFC PI. So he's busy over there. So I'm over here with Eric. It's a good gym for the opponent I'm fighting. Everyone's a good grappler. Everyone likes to grapple, and I can do my game plan. Do you know what I mean? I can practice my game plan really well. Some really good training partners. And obviously Eric's here. So wherever Eric is, I'm happy.
Yeah, man. I've spoke to Eric on multiple occasions, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's a phenomenal coach. Very knowledgeable guy. Now, you are in like you said in at Alliance. What is your routine like over there compared to, let's say, when you were in Phuket?
Um, it's very different. So in Phuket, you get a lot of Russian guys. I don't know, just a different intensity. Do you know what I mean? Like people want to put it on you hard in Phuket. You don't necessarily. There's a lot of people going in and out of there. If that makes sense. So there's not a structured team. I guess I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. But at Alliance, it's like the same guys. They're the same guys that are here when I come out here a couple of years ago. Do you know what I mean? It's slightly different. Whereas Phuket, you have people coming and going through there all the time. A lot higher risk of getting injured. And it was more grappling based. And that sounds stupid. Everyone thinks you go to Thailand to do Muay Thai, but all I've done over there was grapple every day, basically. Over here, I've been striking a lot more. I'm working on my movement and my head, actually, to be honest, as well. That's it. You know Eric, so Eric's a great mind coach. And if my mind's in the right place, I fight any man on earth. Do you know what I mean? So that to me is as important, if not more important, than training. That I'm in the right headspace.
Has there been anything new you have added to your routine? You said that there's the differences, but anything new, like something that California has that no other place has had for you?
Just the way we've approached this camp, really. Not so much down to Alliance, just more what Eric thinks I should be doing, if that makes sense. It's all on him, do you know what I mean? Really, he makes the calls. So I've been drilling a lot more, and every camp we try and grow and add to my skill set, and that's just what we've been doing over here. So whether we're here or Thailand, we'd have been working on the same stuff, to be honest. It's good to
There's
be in America. I like America. America's a lot cleaner. I started to find that Phuket was getting a bit, I don't know, just a bit grimier. Do you know what I mean? Obviously. So I felt like a good time for me to leave there as well. I was happy that he was leaving and to do a couple of camps in America. The guys over here are phenomenal wrestlers and grapplers. And it's good. Tier 1 is great because you get the Mexican boys that can all box, and then you obviously get the lads that have been like high school wrestlers. So you can get good rounds. Do you know what I mean? All good rounds. I started to find I was standing in front of people. Everyone I was training with, it's almost like I go, you go. Very Muay Thai. I spent a lot of time out there, and that's how people you're hitting them and then you're waiting for them to hit you. Whereas I've adapted my movement so much more now. And, touch wood, as long as my head's in the right place on the day, then I'm going to show that. I'm going to show another side of me that people haven't seen before. It's always been there, but I've never done it. We've been working on a lot of mental stuff as well. When people get hit, they go to what they feel safe, right? And what we've been working on, I don't mind getting hit, but a natural instinct to me, when I get hit, if you watch my fights, I get hit and I grapple. Just for me, that feels like my safe zone. And then that's when I hold on, do you know what I mean? And maybe squeeze where I shouldn't squeeze and stuff like that. So now it's just getting comfortable with being hit and moving around, do you know what I mean? Moving more and not having to grapple. And then, if I'm losing on the feet, then I'll grapple. If I'm winning on the feet, I need to stay on the feet. In the past, I've been winning on the feet and I've gone to grappling unnecessarily. So, it's stuff that we've identified and we're working on. Yeah. So hopefully we can see it.
It's incredible to me that, you are always looking to improve. Because, a lot of guys, when they are winning and continuously winning over and over and over again, they kind of just stick to the same protocol. But it seems like you are always looking for that edge, which is, especially on the mental side, which is great to see. And do you see that a lot? Like a lot of fighters that you run into, they don't focus on that side, and that kind of limits them in their development.
Oh, you see it every day. You see people in the gym that just do what they're comfortable. Like you do rounds of them, and they know they can win that round against you by doing what they're good at, but they're never going to grow. And that's a big thing that Eric pushes towards everyone. Don't go into the round doing what you're good at. Go into the round, try new shit. Like, as you get closer to the fight, obviously a bit different. Do what you're good at, and we're going to hone in and focus on that. Not try and learn anything new. But when you're in the gym, it's not about winning in the gym. It's not about beating your training partners. It's about learning. Do you know what I mean? And evolving, and that's something that we massively work on.
Now, your next fight coming up, Bellator 235 in London. Yeah. You're facing Soren Bak. Now, he's a 2-division champ for Cage Warriors. The biggest fight do you think you could get at this point in your career?
Yeah. Let's not forget, I was the 2-weight world champion at Bama at welterweight and lightweight. He was 145 and 155. So best in Europe. Let's see. All right. I'd fight anyone right now. When my head's in the right place, I will fight anyone on earth. And I'll do a good chance, believe me. It's crazy because he's got a great record and he's beat some great people. I don't see him being amazing when I watch his fights and done what it is. But then I guess when people watch my fights, they don't see me being amazing. So when you're in the cage with someone, it's a very different situation. You feel their pressure, and I feel like I've got what it takes to beat Soren convincingly, and that's what I'm after.
When you check out his last 2 fights for Cage Warriors, what are your thoughts on the performances he has had?
His biggest asset is staying calm. He just stays calm and very, very jiu-jitsu. He gets something, he won't squeeze for it, and that's why he goes 5-round fights. Very slow to start. Let's see if he can handle what I bring. Do you know what I mean? Paddy played into his game. And who's the other guy that's beat Dean Truman? I feel like he won. I don't think he won that fight. We watched it yesterday. Actually, it's the first time I've watched one of his fights was yesterday. Because people keep asking me what I think, so I thought I'd better look. And I don't think he won that. I think the French kid beat him, but whatever, it's boring either way. And again, the French kid played into his advantages. Do you know what I mean? Don't think he's fought anyone with high fight IQ. And he thinks I'm going in there with low fight IQ because the way I've fought in the past. But like I say, I'm always trying to better myself and get better. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to see that.
Yeah, it's. I feel that this is one of the biggest fights they could put together in London. It kind of shows like where you guys are both at in your career. It can catapult you. Do you feel that, like, this guy, you beat him convincingly, it will catapult you in the division?
I feel like, I know I'm the best lightweight in Europe. And I'm definitely ready to fight on the bigger stage. I feel like I beat him. Who else is there really to fight? Pete Queeley just beat your man, but that was a welterweight. They agreed to fight at welterweight and not lightweight, and I feel like that was at the detriment of what's his name again? Lad from Newcastle. Anyway,
it's slipping my mind too.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, so yeah, he just beat him convincingly. So I think that fight makes sense. Probably in Dublin, February, and then after that, there is no one else that I see in Europe. And then I want to be seen and recognised. Do you know what I mean? And start getting the big fights.
Going stateside then.
Yeah, man. Like I thought. I want to fight in America. And not just against anyone. Like I don't want to fight some wrestling kid that fucking no one knows. I want to fight names. I want to fight Benson Hendersons and things like that. Legacies. Do you know what I mean? Like you can fight the hardest Russian guy on earth. No one's even ever heard of him. Do you know what I mean? He's just some mad wrestler. Like them, it's a business after all, and them fights don't make sense. If you're getting paid the same money, I want to fight someone with a name and saying, a fight that people are going to talk about.
Earlier, you mentioned the Tijuana boxers. I know you have been dipping into boxing. Have you thought of fighting or boxing again, or are you focused mainly on MMA and you're not really thinking about that?
I go back to saying it's a business, and if someone offered me a fight for the right money, I'm a prize fighter. I don't care what it is. Get offered the right money, I'll fight in Polaris. Do you know what I mean? Like I just don't care. Like fighting's what I'm good at, and whatever strain of fighting that is, I'm good to go. It's all about the paycheck for me right now, and individually there. Boxing is a big part of my MMA, and so is grappling. So to fight in MMA or separately, it's all going to better my game and better me as a fighter. So, but reality is it's business, and you got to pay the bills. What's the point of being the hardest man on earth and poor? Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
If Bellator did have some rankings, I'd figure that you would be in the top 15 in the lightweight division. You got the champ right now, Pitbull. He's busy in the featherweight tournament. Do you feel like they need to bring in an interim title for the weight division because it's just like delaying any movement of that division?
My honest answer is it don't concern me right now, so I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can have an opinion on it. Really, it doesn't bother me one bit. I haven't even thought about it until that concerns me. Until I'll beat Soren, I'll beat Peter if they want me to beat Peter in February, and then I'll answer your question. Then I'd want the interim title shot. Do you know what I mean? But until that time, there's no point even wasting my energy thinking about it, to be honest.
All right. Well, one last thing, I wanted to pick your brain about is the expression that a lot of people use is finding a way out, And as a fighter, if that ever creeps into the fighter's mind, do you feel that it is time to hang up the gloves, or is it just a mental lapse and something that a fighter can overcome?
Are you referring to what Till said?
Yeah, like kind of what Till was going through, but also like the commentators and analysts, they'll say, "Hey, yeah, he wanted a way out," or the critics will say that.
Each their own. I've never what Till said, and he said, "Oh, people don't admit to this; they're lying." I don't agree with that. I thought my first loss in 10-fight win streak was because I had a way out and I didn't take it. I was sick. I was in hospital on a drip, getting antibiotics. I discharged myself from hospital on a Wednesday to lose almost 10 kilos in a couple of days to fight. I made any excuse. I lied to people. I didn't tell people I was sick. I made any excuse to fight. So, that proves that theory wrong. If I get to fight week, I feel like so much pressure on me. Everyone's bought tickets, you know what I mean? All the pressure's on, you know, you've done all the hard work and that. So for me, it's hard to back out of a fight. But don't get me wrong, before I fought Walter Gahadza, I was like, I've had enough. I'm done with it. So I'm done. And it's only because I beat him, I carried on. And then I'm lucky I did, because I'm here where I am today. Do you know what I mean? So having a mental lapse like that, you know, I don't know, if you're trying to find a way out of a fight, maybe it's time to hang up the gloves. Do you know what I mean? Because if you don't love it, who would want to get punched in the head for a living? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you're not good at it, if you're questioning it, then you're going to lose. And then if you lose, what's the point? You know, it's a downward spiral, isn't it?
It is. Well, November 23rd, you step back into that cage in London, Bellator 235. Terry, man, I always wanted to get you on the show, and I finally got you on, and hopefully we can do many more in the future. Yeah. I'm excited for I'm excited for your next couple of fights, man, because I feel like you are, you know, like you said, one of the best lightweights in Europe and in the world.
Exactly. Thank you, bro. Thank you.